This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 782. I'm Exvee because Brian Kilby is off filling in an entry on his bucket list, which is to recreate the third opening to the Drew Carey show, Cleveland Rocks, which is to say he's in Ohio this week. So, you know, it all kind of works. I kind of like the Drew Carey show before they started doing those musical numbers and making those the theme songs every season or two. It just seemed like they were getting a little too full of themselves when they started doing that.
The Cleveland Rocks is the only one I remember.
So they had the second opening was a musical number that they did in the Office set. Cleveland Rocks was the first one where they went out on location and did one of them when, you know, ABC was willing to throw more money at them.
I actually don't remember ever watching an episode of the show.
I mean, you're probably too old for it, Don.
No, I remember it. I just don't ever remember watching it.
You were too old to be interested in it, is what I was saying.
Oh, well, that's probably very true as well.
I mean, you were like 35 when that was on, right?
Don was like, I don't have time for this. Where's my Matlock?
Actually, my mother liked Matlock, but
of course she did. She was over 60.
Yeah.
My grandmother liked Matlock too, but I mean, she always liked Andy Griffith.
I remember
when
watching.
She was young.
I remember watching Murder, She Wrote. My mom would figure out the mysteries fairly quickly based on the stuff in the show, and I'm like,
I mean, okay. So the thing with Murder, She Wrote is the episodes were written fairly, where if you were paying attention, you generally could figure out what was going on because they put the information you need in there. The other thing is it wasn't that deep.
It's also a generational thing. Is like there. I remember this stands out in my head. There was one episode in which they go in. Her and the guy that we know did it, but she doesn't. Go into an old farmhouse, and a few seconds later, the light clicks on, and Mom figured it out because he's the killer, and he'd been in the house before. Because in old farmhouses, the light switches were never right by the door; they were in really odd places. So she knew that from living in old houses, the light switch was never right by the door. I had no clue that was even a thing. So,
I mean, and you wouldn't even need to have that personal experience. You would just need to understand, like, they're telling you this guy's been here before because he knows immediately where to go to turn on the working light.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Her and I we would watch like Beauty and the Beast. Because we both really liked that show when it was coming up.
I think that's the one Rob can relate to. That experience of watching.
Yeah, well, the experience I had is that my mom adored Beauty and the Beast, and it came on at the same time as the Jim Henson Hour, so that created some tension.
Still, it's an experience you can relate to.
Yeah. It's just so weird thinking that was Ron Perlman all those years ago as the Beast. And
you know what else is weird to think? Phantom 2040, Ron Perlman did a voice role in that show for like 20 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they also had a soft, not quite canon nod to Defenders of the Earth because they open a safe and there's a picture of the Defenders and the kids in the safe. So that alludes you that this is taking place after DOE.
What even is this show?
This is Radio Free Cybertron. This is Radio Free Cybertron, the internet's oldest Transformers podcast. It's the internet's oldest Transformers podcast because collectively here together we are about 300 years old, as evidenced by the discussion of Murder, She Wrote I just had with Headmaster Don.
Hello.
Which was patiently sat through by Matt, aka Melvar.
Yeah, patiently.
Related to loosely by Rob Clay, aka RAC, or Rob Flails, or Flail Throughs, or things.
I mean, we can talk about something the younger kids would, and it's like Captain Power. Matt would probably can relate to Captain Power.
And Diecast is here also, just not sure what to do about any of this.
Yeah, I'm just not sure.
So we are having a little bit of a late start this week because Brian's not here, and every time Brian's not here, making the show happen on a technical level is a disaster. I don't know why he lets us do this when he has to be somewhere else, except that, you know, the show must go on, and the show does go on some way, somehow. Unfortunately, we will not be able to provide a pre-show podcast for this week because no pre-show went out on stream because the stream would not work until 8:32 tonight. And also we were having some issues about getting stuff recorded, but you didn't really miss anything because we were mostly just talking about why isn't the show working.
No, don't tell them that. The reason is we were having a great discussion about Columbo, but we don't want anyone else to know about it.
Just one more question, Don. Matt, Gaming Fix says that you should come on History on the Fives.
Okay.
For those, yeah, for our audio, yeah, for our audio listeners, Matt gave a very quizzical look, but I back this plan also.
Any of you are welcome anytime.
I've been on before. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Matt needs to be on all the shows.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that, but I don't know that Matt would not mind that. So
Matt still needs his Marvel Legends show that we talked about a very, very long time ago.
Hey, Chris.
I'm still surprised that I was ever invited to be on this show. So
well, that's no okay.
It still
so
confounds me.
Okay, I can tell you exactly how that happened, though. You came up and talked to us at Shardicon. That was the first time we met you. And after like no more than half an hour, I took Brian aside and said, "This guy's really cool. I want to invite him on the show sometime."
Yeah, that's great, but I don't understand why.
Okay, I mean, like, I can't make you understand why I thought you were cool and wanted to invite you on the show, but I can tell you the functional part of how you got invited on the show, which is that I told Brian we need to invite him on the show at some point, and I guess that stuck because eventually he invited you on the show.
And here we are, 9 years later.
Hey,
I don't like to think about Shardicon being that long ago.
Yeah, speaking of going to
I thought about it today.
Is anyone going to SDCC?
Oh, you know who is going to SDCC?
No, I don't.
Disease.
Hasbro.
Oh, Hasbro.
And Disease. Yeah. So I guess that's Diecast not so subtle way of pushing us into actual show content.
We have a lot of show content today.
We do. Yeah. So during their GI Joe live stream today, they announced that they were going to be in attendance of SDCC this year. That is scheduled for the middle-ish of next month. So I don't know, how late in the process they decided that they were going to actually be there. Given that this is the first time we're actually hearing about that being a thing, it may have just happened recently. As of right now, we don't really know how that's going to affect availability of exclusives for this year. In a way, we benefited from SDCC being canceled the last 2 years because every one of the exclusives they produced went directly to online sales, so they were relatively easy to get. Hopefully, they're taking the lessons from the quantities they produced the last couple of years, and there's still going to be ample supply to go around for those of us who will not go to Comic-Con itself. But, we're just going to have to kind of wait and see how that shakes out. Diecast actually brought up an interesting point before, what would have been pre-show even, which is, did they decide this early enough to actually have the exclusives for this year produced in time to deliver to SDCC? There's a very real possibility that they still had everything on track for September-ish delivery of that stuff, like it was last year for sure. And I think also for the Pit of Judgment ultimately was around that time. In that case, they might not have anything to sell at the show, and we will just have, our first crack at it again. And then next year, if they go to SDCC, they will probably plan for at-show presence a little bit better. But right now it's a lot of up in the air because we literally just found out about this 6 hours ago.
Now I'm just wondering, the behind the doors of all the production and stuff is we can piece together a lot of it at this point, but I'm just wondering if they have anything that they've produced but fell through. Say it's in one of Hasbro's warehouses. It's produced, it's boxed, it's ready to sell. There was a contract issue. Something didn't go through. The buyer had got a refund. All they would, if such any product exists, they would just have to print up stickers that say SDCC 2022 exclusive, Hasbro exclusive, slap a sticker on there, and then they can move product that had no home for but that was ready to sell. So that, again, it's kind of a stretch. I'm just saying if they've got anything they've been looking to get rid of in a warehouse, they just make a prismatic sticker, throw it on there, and boom, it's an exclusive. And
that would make a lot of people mad.
I don't
Yeah.
think they would have anything like that anyway.
No, what? Well,
No, they just sold
okay,
it all.
so
on
what?
Pulse.
we'll talk about that in a little while. No, what they would have in a warehouse, in the way Don is thinking, is the stuff that they have sitting around to send. I think Brian's called it appeasement before. So the Siege Megatrons and stuff that Hasbro sends when you get a defective product and you have to go through customer service.
If they had a lot
if they put a prismatic sticker on a Siege Megatron and sold that at SDCC as an exclusive, people would be.
I would
miffed.
laugh so hard.
But
yes,
I'm just saying, if they've
I
got
don't disagree, but
I'm just saying if they've got a lot of product, again, for whatever reason that they need to find a home for, or just want to get out of from paying inventory warehousing costs, that would be something to do, just to have a toy presence, even if it didn't make a lot of sense.
I mean, I think I don't even know how they would handle the logistics of this.
Yeah.
Like, if they were going to do something, I think they would do like pre-sale certificates or something. They would accept pre-orders for the exclusives at the show for delivery later.
Well, that would work.
But like
that would
that would be a logistics issue.
That would really work for Star Wars, because that harkens back to the early bird original kit of the 4 or 5 figures. So that they could pull that off easy, and they just cloud it in a swathing of retro nostalgia. We did it before. We're doing it again. Look.
And Don, just remember, when they have old toys that say they didn't sell enough of, those go to clearance places like Ollie's and TJ Maxx, and not.
Yeah, they don't warehouse stuff any more than they can help, because it's leaving money on the table now.
Yeah, they're not going to bring out old toys for SDCC.
I'm just saying, if they want to get rid of, I'm just saying we might see something in that vein if they've got.
If they hadn't blown out those old SDCC Metroplexes and those old leftovers through City Trends or whatever a few months ago, like if they still had that stuff around, like that'd be one thing, because that's kind of like special stuff that you thought was gone forever, but hey, here it is because we don't have anything to sell you today. But
they might
they
only
wouldn't
have
even
like
do that.
5, so that would anger people.
Well, no, that would just be them pulling a Mattel. So yeah, angrier people. But yeah, we literally don't know any more details than just that they're going to be there. So we'll wait and see how this develops over the next few weeks. Because again, there's not that much time between now and when SDCC actually happens. I think, probably what we'll be looking at mostly is just them being there with a little bit of a token presence, probably some display stuff in a booth area.
Yeah, like Wave 2 in hand of Legacy on display.
Yeah, assuming that it hasn't hit stores by then. Although even if it has, it's just screwing up their plans that they can't really help, because that's all they have. Stuff like that's happened before. No, I would kind of hope that for that they would be able to like fast track over some like early test shots, or what they call now engineering pilots, for like some Wave 3 stuff, even if it's all hand painted. Just to have something, first look to show at the event. And the Wave 2 Legacy stuff has been in production already, so the Wave 3 stuff would be cycling up most likely, unless like the Walmart exclusive stuff kind of bumped that in the production schedule, and Wave 3 is going to be a little bit later because of that. There's a lot of variables here to consider in when the stuff's going to come out, but like there are some options open to them.
Like they could have Star Saber there, but since you can't really order it anymore, I don't know what the point would be.
Right.
Right. Well, they could do that for like, this is what we did through our HasLab thing.
What are we going to do next?
Or they could say like, hey, this is what we did recently. These are the things. Like, what do you want to see next? And use that to drum up business for maybe 10 things that they have on a whiteboard somewhere, just to create engagement and get an idea, and just to, so like, we've got some content for you. you may even have a say in what we do next. Not really, but
yeah,
you
I mean,
never know.
Hasbro's not going to go to this effectively empty-handed. They've got something in mind that they're going to do and show. I don't know if I would count on them doing the the product reveal breakfast or that kind of event like they've done in previous years, depending on these timetables. But
They'll
you
do
know, they'll
Wave
have
3,
something.
I would think, because we've seen Wave 2 already, so Wave 3 would be the next logical one for us to see.
If Wave
If
3
they have
is,
it on hand to show.
and if it's that far into the manufacturing process, the batch of exclusive stuff between Walmart and Amazon may have made Wave 3 have to start a little bit later in the production process, so they may not have any of that available right now. But let's move on to the stuff we actually have more content relevant to, which is a couple of Masterpiece reveals that happened starting last Thursday, because it's always Thursday.
Diecast.
Or Dawn, actually.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so we had, just after the show last week, basically, our first look at Masterpiece Skyfire. And let me see if I can get this into my image viewer here and bring that up.
There's a lot of people debating. I'm actually showing it on screen right now. There's a lot of people debating about, oh, if you have fans toys, is this better? Do you get rid of your fans toys? I like them both. I really like this Skyfire.
It's
like
cheaper than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the thing that really hit me across the face. Like, really? Because we were all thinking MP44 price.
I was thinking at least $350.
Yeah.
I think I was too.
I think the reason is, even though it's a bigger figure, it's a lot simple. Well, overall, is the engineering isn't as much engineering magic in there. It's basically your standard Valkyrie, pretty much, with a few bells and whistles.
Yeah, they were able to cut back on the engineering because it didn't have to look like anything real world.
Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, they've actually included stuff so that you can kind of make it look more like a Valkyrie, even though great pains were taken to make Skyfire in the cartoon not look like a Valkyrie because of the licensing mess.
Well, we've seen the footage that where he was called Jetfire and then it was redubbed to be called Skyfire. So we've all seen that footage. I mean, I think he looks great, and I'm amazed at the price. I've got Kronos, I've got fans toys, I've got the Commander class Skyfire. I think I'm good. I mean, I'll be honest, I really don't see a need to get this for me personally.
I don't think I need a Skyfire this big.
You mean a Skyfire that's as big as it should be?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Siege one is big enough. I think I'm good.
And besides, Matt, you get a block of unused cassette tapes that's still wrapped up. You put it in the back of the thing. You stand them on top of it. It's fine.
Is he really going to be that much bigger than the Siege one, though? He looks...
Well, okay. I mean, so there's MP44 standing next to it, and, Ironhide over there. So, MP44 is not small. It's not huge, but it's not small.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, well, the Siege Commander Skyfire is not small either.
It's about 12 inches. It's the Siege one's the height of a Combiner Wars Combiner.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna be pretty comparable, but they're two totally different things. I mean, this is definitely, I think, more screen accurate than even the Fans Toys one is, and I love it for that. I hope the transformation's good. I hope it feels nice. If it does all that stuff, it's going to be really hard to pick my favorite between this one and the Fans Toys one.
I do hate the faceplate though. The visor look on that head sculpt does not work for me.
I've just never understood. I know why people want to make him into a Robotech Valkyrie, and I get it because of the where he came from and everything. But Skyfire from the show is a square-nosed jet. I'd rather see a cheaper cost and not all the extra Robotech parts.
I think they're just taunting Harmony Gold at this point.
Yeah, there's not any extra
okay. If they come out and say, hey, we're just doing this to troll Harmony Gold. I think.
Oh yeah,
everybody
they'll
will be
definitely come
perfectly-
out and say that.
Oh yeah, I mean, it'd be like, okay, fine, rock on.
The
But
only
if
way
they're-
it trolls them is the pose, one, and then the extra faceplate. That's really the only thing.
Yeah, and so like the Gerwalk thing is something that was in the cartoon, and the faceplate I think is supposed to come from like toy commercial material, in part.
Yeah, I remember that commercial.
Yeah.
So like everything that they're doing, while it seems to take off of the Valkyrie concept, is stuff that is depicted in one form or another of Transformers media. Now, the interesting thing with Masterpiece Skyfire is that in Japan, it's a Takara Tomy Mall exclusive. It's not going to general retail in Japan.
Yeah, that surprised me because I was even saying online, I was like, man, I can't wait for Amazon Japan to get this, and they're like, someone mentioned like, oh no, they're not because it's Takara Tomy Mall, and I was like, oh. And then I just ordered it from the Chosen Prime because that was actually the cheapest for me, being in the States and not wanting to go through Taobao for official product because Taobao makes it really difficult for official product right now.
Did they ask for a deposit at Chosen Prime like some places?
No.
How much was it?
$268. But there's no tax from them. Like if I order it from Big Bad Toy Store, they're going to charge me tax.
I mean, they're supposed to charge you sales tax. They're just not, fulfilling their obligations.
Yeah, it's the smaller
Once-
companies
once
can
the-
kind of get away
once-
with it.
Well, yeah, until the federal government decides to take a look at their books,
Yeah.
then they're going to be in trouble.
Now,
Well, just
one
like Amazon. I mean, Amazon used to not charge tax, or there's a
And
lot
then
of
it became the
companies-
law, and they became the law,
Yes.
and they charged sales tax.
Yeah.
now, there's one thing I want to bring up, and I think this is on everybody's minds. Some of the stuff that's includes a small robot mode Jazz.
Why?
Oh yeah, no, there's minifigures of Optimus, Jazz, and Wheeljack
Yep.
Yeah,
that you can stage around the jet mode.
Wheeljack I can understand. Optimus Prime, okay, but why Jazz? I don't remember Jazz interacting with
Okay.
Skyfire.
Well, see,
really.
that's why I'm bringing this up, Matt. I'm wondering if this is a built-in tease telling us that they have acquired the rights to do a Jazz,
It could
and
be.
and this is their little like nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Look who's in part of the lineup. Because
or it could be a shut up. This is the best we can do.
Yeah,
Well,
shut up.
it-
here's your masterpiece, Jazz.
Yeah.
that could be. It could be. But I'm just again, John DeLuna would probably answer this better than anyone else, unless y'all guys might know. They own the rights to the car, the way the car looks, the design, and all that. Would they have any say in the robot only mode because it's made from their car?
No.
They shouldn't.
No, because
No.
it's not identifiable as a Porsche in robot mode.
Right. Right.
So that's
So-
why they don't need any licensing to do
Right.
the robot character.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just wanted to run it past and see what y'all thought.
I mean, Don, think about Reveal the Shield Jazz. Like that wasn't a Porsche, but like all the shapes were there, and you knew it was trying to be a Porsche. And then the Studio Series 86 Jazz, which is basically a Porsche with the serial number filed off. It's not quite. It's still different enough, but like that's even closer, and that didn't get any licensing, and there's no sign of trouble over that. So like, if you can
Right.
get that close with a car likeness and avoid the licensing requirements, like the robot mode is going to be no problem.
Right. Well, I mean,
The only
again,
way you'd have a problem is if they had like literally a Porsche badge somewhere on the robot. But that's just that's a completely different thing. That's not the vehicle likeness. That's just their branding mark. That would be
right, a
the
trademark.
trademark
Yeah,
issue.
and I totally get that. I was just bringing it up for the fact is if they're doing this, I really believe we're going to be hearing about a Masterpiece Jazz before too long, and this is their little way of adding, giving everyone a hint, like, hey, we're including him for a reason, and this is it.
Yeah,
think
I mean,
you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you that's a terrible thought. Well, we just lost Matt. Hope he comes back. No, I mean, I can't tell you that's like a wrong thought or anything. I kind of lost where I was going with that, but given that we've gotten more Volkswagen elements included in things, and Volkswagen and Porsche are right together, the possibility of getting a Porsche Jazz is non-zero at least.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so moving on.
More masterpiece
stuff. Yeah, so we got our third Trainbot reveal, which is MPG-03. Turn that off. Yukikaze, also known as a leg.
Well,
So I think now we have a chest, we have shorts, and we have a leg. Is that right?
I think so. My
Yeah.
problem with this is that I wanted to get at least one of them in hand before I committed to any more. And
Right.
This is like, we don't even have one yet.
Yeah, the first one's supposed to come out soon.
Yeah, I don't have time.
August maybe?
Yeah. I would have liked a little bit more time before I had to pre-order this, because if I don't pre-order it now, I may miss it, at least at
Yeah.
Hasbro Pulse.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused. I'm not sure what to do with this, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean it looks nice and all, but it also looks like the other two where there's a lot of panel work going on and clear plastic in use, and
Yeah.
it's still very much untested waters here, which is concerning.
His legs are kind of wide on this one. And
Yeah.
I worry because I feel like this is going to be a smaller figure. So the more panels on smaller figures, the less
The smaller, yeah.
Yeah, the feel, the quality feel is just not always there. I'm not saying it's not going to be. It might be amazing, but it's a lot to
that
commit
much
to three
Yeah.
bots without
Yeah,
having
I
one
mean,
in hand.
I mean, at the average, these are averaging out about what, 125 to 150 a piece, give or take, depending on where you get them.
Yeah,
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay. Let's just say 125 a piece. So we're looking at about $400 here for 3 figures, and with the Moon Studio, that's 4 figures right there. If you got that one, I'm just looking at this figure, and it's like the leg mode looks great. It looks like riding. The train mode looks great.
Looks like a train.
It looks like the way the train is supposed to look, from what I can remember from the series. It's just the fact that it looks like the robot mode is, with this being a triple changer, it's the robot mode that's kind of like the one they're sacrificing, because I'm sure they have to meet the train look for
Yes.
the company.
Yeah.
For the
Every-
company.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's for the company. It's just like we've known from the first two that the priority for them is the train modes, because model railroading is a big deal in Japan, even though these are at the wrong scale.
Right. So, I mean, it just looks like they're trying to make sure that the combined mode looks right, the train mode is right, and the robot mode is like the best they can get.
Yeah,
out of
that's
the other
pretty much
two.
that's basically the conclusion we came to with Shoki and
Getsue.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome back, Matt.
Takara put out a promo video to go with this for the basically just a CG thing showing off the first 3 of them in heroic style, and from that we got our first look at the design of the Raiden head in good detail. Now, of course, this is a CG model from an animation they made, but the whole thing was very toy accurate anyway, so very reasonably this is what to expect the Masterpiece's combined head to look like. In the promo pictures, there is the set of accessories, and there is Raiden's head in there, very small. It's hard to see the detail on that, but it seems to basically match up to this.
Which means that basically the head is just going to be an add-on.
It kind of looks like that, yeah. I saw one theory on Twitter that this might be an alternate head. That you can choose to swap in, and maybe there is an integral one elsewhere.
Yeah.
But right now that's just speculation.
I mean, I could see it be its own separate part since this is their first attempt at a masterpiece combiner. It may be a cut corner, but
yeah, I mean, at some point you gotta just like accept that they don't want to, push things too far, and they feel like having the head be a separable piece is an acceptable compromise to make if it doesn't cause something else to kind of go bad.
Yeah, I mean, both Diecast and I have seen a lot of videos and such where some companies on the third party scene will do the all-in-one, but there's issues because the parts that are built in could have been used for the rest of the regular robot figure, and then your add-on kit gives you the hands and feet and all that kind of stuff, but people don't want to do parts forming, and so you've got that balance there that you have to try to hit between how much parts forming turns people off, and then you got your stability issues.
Yeah, so Matt, where are you at on these Masterpiece Trainbots at this point? You kind of dropped off when we started talking about this and didn't really get a chance to chime in.
I just pre-ordered the first two.
Oh.
What about this one? Did you pre-order this one?
No, it disappeared. The link disappeared off Big Bad Toy Store. So,
Dang.
That's weird.
well, yesterday it was gone. I don't know if it's back up now or not. But so I just
there's
ordered the first two.
There's always Amazon Japan.
Yeah,
that'd be cheaper. I mean, probably, maybe.
Well, I looked to Amazon Japan, but I couldn't find the first two.
Oh, okay. No, I meant for the third one.
Yeah,
you can't source it locally.
yeah.
Also, you'd probably get it earlier that way too. That was one of the things with Skyfire that we didn't really touch on because it's a Takara Tommy-Ball exclusive. Unless you middleman it from Japan, you have to wait for the second run that's made specifically for Hasbro market distribution. So like on Pulse, they had the arrival for Skyfire as being like May or June, I think, and in Japan it's supposed to come out in February. But
I skipped out on Skyfire.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. But Diecast was making the point while you were gone that like it's just a big ask to pre-order 3 of these in a row without even getting one of them in hand to figure out if it's what you even want.
Yeah, that's and we've said this before, but all that clear plastic on these load-bearing combiner hips and stuff
hopefully they don't have the clear plastic on load-bearing parts. Also, I think we might have lost Matt again. He looks frozen. Well, in that case, let's move on to the next topic. That'll be our signal tonight to move on to the next subject when Matt's internet connection drops. So next up, we're looking at the next G.I. Joe Transformers crossover, which is Bumblebee.
I think Don loves the colors on this.
Don's face palming so hard right now.
I am channeling Picard so hard right now. I am Picarding. I am Picarding right now.
I'm really disappointed that Kilby could not be here tonight to talk about this with us.
He loves Stalker, doesn't he?
Probably.
I think I've heard him mention Stalker before as one of his favorites. I could be wrong. But the robot is definitely an afterthought, it looks like, on this.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
The All Striker was given, the vehicle mode was given 1,000% preference, and the robot mode is what they can cobble together from the remains. I'm sorry, okay.
And yet it still looks better than his tank Megatron.
Don, what you're saying?
Does it?
I think so because it looks like the robot parts are actually like somewhat integrated into the body instead of just wearing the thing. I mean, you could not remove the entire Ostriker and still have a Bumblebee figure which was the problem I had with the Megatron. You could remove all the his tank parts in Megatron and still have a Megatron.
I'll be honest.
So this actually looks a little bit more like all the parts were like, created at the same time to be part of the same toy. So I think that gives it a small edge against Megatron.
Okay, I will give that to Rob. I had not thought about that, but the problem is, I think his tank carries a lot more weight of being right as far as but this Bumblebee, it's the colors for me. It's just, it looks like someone took inspiration from a can of Sprite or Sierra Mist. Here's a little bit of lime. Here's a little bit of lemon. We're going to call that good.
Actually, this looks more like peas in that shade of green.
Yeah.
Boiled can peas.
Yeah. Can of peas.
Yeah, with a little bit of lime or leaven.
It does not look good.
Okay, so like I bristle when people say that something looks like a Tonka toy. This looks like a Tonka toy to me in robot mode. And I think it's those great big wheels.
Yeah.
It's kind of cheaper than I thought it was. The next one would be, because I'll be perfectly honest, I was expecting Optimus to be the next one to go with Megatron, but maybe they got to do more expensive, least expensive, more, they got to try to rotate with.
I hope they just give up after this, honestly.
I'm sorry. If you like this and you're getting it, I am ecstatic you're getting another G.I. Joe Transformer crossover.
Yeah. But I don't want to take away anybody's enjoyment if they can enjoy this. We have some issues.
It's just.
I'm getting it. It's silly.
This made me rethink keeping Megatron, because it's like I was sort of into the Megatron again. For me, his tank is a little more important of a vehicle to make sure it's right versus the All Striker, which I don't care about because it's a dune buggy with a gun. But this just looks bad.
Oh man! Now that you mentioned it, we should have had this as Beachcomber instead of Bumblebee. That would have.
Oh God!
That would have fixed a lot of problems with this.
And Lifeline, That's what this repaint will be. Beachcomber paired with Lifeline.
Oh, they're not gonna just do a repaint of a $95 toy, Don.
This is only a $70 toy, I think.
Yeah, 70. I saw it for 70.
Still probably not going to do a repaint of it, but
yeah, I know. But I'm just saying that makes more. I would buy it as Beachcomber and Lifeline more than I would Bumblebee and Stalker.
But if they did it as Beachcomber, would it have to be blue? You know what I mean? It would be
green on the outside and blue on the inside.
I think the blue. I think the right shade of
blue.
Blue
for a better combination.
G2 Beachcomber.
Okay. Yes. And Tiger Force Lifeline.
Well, I mean, if they wanted to retool it and redeco it like that for like an SDCC thing, like I could see that working in one sense. I don't think they would ever go that route for something they're trying to sell, like, in general at this price. But yeah, we've just come up with, at least one way and more like two that this could have been received better. But unfortunately, Beachcomber isn't Bumblebee.
Okay, yeah. Blade Gnome just hit the nail on the head, because I was trying to, this in the back of my head, it was bugging me where I have seen this before. This is Human Alliance. This is like the Human Alliance Dune Buggy figure, whatever his name was.
Those were better toys. Those were better toys.
But I'm just saying, that's who. Thank you, Blade. That's who he reminds me of. Is that funky Human Alliance that became the gun that Ironhide could carry? The whatever, I don't know. But yeah, that's this.
also in our Discord at tfradio.net/Discord, Blade has shared where a couple of people on Twitter beat us to the punch on this toy as both a Beachcomber and G2 Beachcomber.
Yeah. Yeah, it works.
I would buy the G2.
That like I said, or like you guys said, they can't do many of these. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to get it, because they're doing the his tank. They're doing this. How many more can they do, really? And the other thing is, who's this really for? Because I gotta imagine G.I. Joe guys are like, I don't need my G.I. Joe to transform into anything. But us as a Transformers fan, we think it's cool because it's combining the two, and it's still a Transformer. I don't know that the Joe fans would be as excited about this as Transformers fans would be.
Because I mean, you can get all strikers probably a lot. I mean, if you needed an all striker for your diorama, this is probably going to be way too big to fit into a standard Joe diorama
and too expensive. You could probably get an all striker on eBay a lot cheaper than this.
I would think.
I don't know how much G.I. Joe fans I don't think would be into this.
Yeah.
I would, if I would love to reach out to some of the Joe fans and have them just talk to them about this, like, maybe go to the Yojo boards or something like that and just see what they think, because this is just, it's a round peg in a square hole.
All right, let's move on. So literally at the end of, I think, post show last week, it was very late last Wednesday. We found out that someone in Australia had found Legacy Motormaster, and they provided some pictures. So this is from Halo Hunter 553. These came from Discord originally. Halo Hunter also put up a video review, which in the show notes, we have these pictures linked, mirrored at Autobase Aichi. Autobase Aichi also has that video review embedded. So if you want to check that out, you can find it via there. So I've highlighted just a few of the pictures because I want to try to move through this kind of quick. So this is how Motormaster is packaged inside the Commander class box. So what we're looking at here is the whole cardboard insert. So Motormaster takes up about a third of the total packaging volume, and the rest is just cardboard spacing. Very, environmentally conscious packaging there, not, wasting material or space or anything. I mean, of course, we understand, you need a certain box size and everything to make the price point look like it's worth what they're charging for it, but it's still just like packaged in vehicle mode as this apparently is. That's kind of bad and wasteful looking, I think. So we got a picture here of Motormaster alongside Drag Strip just for some relative scale, and that looks fine. I mean, we knew Motormaster was going to be a little bit small as a truck compared to like deluxe cars. Here is probably what everybody wants to see, which is the Menasor frame next to an existing Combiner Wars technology combiner. So in this case, Volcanicus, and their head height is basically right on. And because of the way this is built, Motormaster Menasor actually gets to look a little bit like bigger, chunkier, and once everything's attached onto it, it's going to look a lot bulkier than the Combiner Wars ones probably did.
Yeah, I think it looks good. I can't complain at all about it.
This apparently is what Motormaster itself actually contributes to that Menasor frame without the trailer. Like the robot part of Motormaster just becomes this, which slots into the trailer frame.
Okay.
So, I mean, it could be worse, but, he's still only making a small part of it. And here's just a relative height comparison to, the perennial Siege Megatron body. So, pretty good overall, I think.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Well, I mean, that's, out in the global distribution system at this point. So it's only going to be a matter of time before that starts turning up on our online retailers and eventually local store shelves, but probably a month or two for that.
Now, I did see a picture.
And sorry, Don, Night Sword in our Discord just said that it's confirmed that you can leave the chest plate off for the combined mode if you want to show more of the Motormaster parts.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, I saw a picture earlier today when I was on lunch. I didn't get a chance to save it or anything, where it showed Wild Rider in leg mode, basically as a backward L that just slides into that bottom slot.
Yeah, I think that's how we understood it to work.
Yeah, it's just weird, sort of. It's like the first thing I thought of was a puzzler leg when I saw it, because it's that just kind of just like this, and then it just slots in the back. So it was just really off-putting to see it just sort of wedged in there in the front and just be the slab, so there's that.
Okay, so Matt's back with us. Let's catch Matt up. Matt, what do you think about the G.I. Joe Bumblebee?
Did anybody ask why it's not Beachcomber?
Yes.
Everyone, yes.
Okay.
We also then concluded that G2 Beachcomber and Tiger Force, what's his name, would be ideal.
Lifeline.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So, congratulations. We've ruined that toy for everybody who, didn't already not like it. Something like, I don't know. That made more sense in my head. Leave me alone. I'm trying to host a podcast here. And then did you have anything you wanted to add to the pictures of Motormaster from last week?
No, I am absolutely in love with it though. So
Okay.
I look forward to that.
Well,
So-
let's go on to something that nobody's looking forward to, which is the upcoming wave of Super 7 Ultimates figures. Starting with Fallen Optimus Prime, otherwise known as, dead Optimus Prime from the movie.
I like how they have
Alternate
those,
universe
you
Optimus
barely
Prime.
walk.
The shambling
that's a-
corpse of Optimus Prime.
See, if they would have done a Dark Awakening
Yes!
version, that would have been cool.
I was getting ready
Yes.
to say that would have been a lot more interesting, but maybe Super 7 is going to have the issue where when they can do a basic paint swap to give a break as far as
I think you're right. It's just disappointing from our perspective that the really obvious thing to do for another Optimus Prime run, but this is the iconic one. But yes, I really love how they have this photo posed.
It's like he's looking for his he's looking for his contacts or something.
And
that'll help.
they could do a Dark Awakening Prime as like a convention exclusive or something pretty easily.
Oh,
Please
jeez,
don't.
I would
Oh, don't
probably
put that
get-
idea in their head.
I would have to have that.
Yeah, because it's got the damage, the damage on the side. From
Yeah,
where he
there's a
was
little bit of
stabbed.
new tooling.
You could do Dark
Mhm.
Awakening.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
needs a new head, of course.
Yeah, but they could do that.
Yeah.
So the one new thing in this wave is Soundwave. And most notable of what Soundwave includes is a Marvel Comics accurate head. Unfortunately, the toy is not in Marvel Comics colors. Because in the original print of Marvel Comics, Soundwave was purple.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's convention exclusive number 2.
Exactly. or
Wave 4.
Yes.
When we get Sound Blaster, it'll be every couple of waves we'll get Sound Blaster, then we'll get purple Soundwave, then we'll get a Shattered Glass Soundwave at some point.
I hate how much I believe in this concept.
I mean,
Yeah,
Soundwave is so blocky anyway. Like this Soundwave. Does not
He's a
excite me
cassette.
in
He's a
movies.
cassette. He's a
Yeah.
cassette player. By default, he's a block.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in this line when we're already on line 3 and 2 out of the 3 figures are already just repaints.
Is anyone else getting shades of Power Core combiners here already?
I mean, I think from what I saw of their production status page, it seems like the factory is not able to move as fast as they wanted to with their product lines. So I think this might be partly to let things catch up a little bit. So they don't have to do a whole lot of new tooling and stuff, which I think has been the holdup for some of their stuff. Because there's the Power Rangers Ultimates. I have the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord on pre-order, and that was supposed to be out late last year. And the last time I looked, it was just getting into the factory tooling stage. The same with the Ninja Turtle Ultimates Bubble Walker Krang. That was supposed to be around the same timetable. That hasn't materialized yet. So I think they're just having some, production facility issues, which, I mean, that's to be expected at
They've
this
got
point.
a lot
but
on their plate right now.
doing a wave like this is just a way to keep this product line going, but also not put so much strain on their production line. They can, reuse a lot of assets, and it just makes things move along a little bit faster. And while the factory's doing rerun molds, they can be working on stuff for the next wave so that it's not a big long delay. It doesn't
Makes
look
sense.
good from the outside, but there's, logical reasons for it to be going this way. But yeah, we have a non-ghost Starscream now, and based on what the ghost of Starscream looked like, I'm not like super confident, I guess.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping it's just because they tried to pull off the ghost sparkly effect is why that turned out like that. That's just
that doesn't explain the face sculpt.
just a plain
No.
colored Starscream would be
Oh, Don.
would be a little bit easier to handle.
Is that a G2 rifle?
Don't think so.
I'm not sure where that came from.
I seem to recall an episode where Starscream was handling some type of like sniper rifle type deal. I think that's what that is, but I can't remember what episode it was.
I mean, there's only like 98 episodes, Rob. I don't know why you can't be better at this.
Right?
Great. Now we're
So
this is like Wave 1 Megatron when he's holding the flask. And we were trying to figure out where the flask came from.
Well, our Discord helped with that. Maybe somebody remembers. Nothing yet.
What wave will be underbase Starscream?
The rifle is from the core, according to the solicits. Thank you, Josh. Underbase Starscream, probably Wave 6 or a convention exclusive. I mean, that would be a pretty intricate paint deco, to be fair.
Yeah, the only one of these I'm buying is if they do a Zombie Prime. Because I've been asking for a Zombie Prime for a long time. We keep getting dead primes. Why can't we get a Zombie Prime?
Yeah. I hate to give them a third exclusive idea, but I would like to see Dark Awakening Optimus and a Rodimus in the 2-pack. That would make a lot of sense.
I mean, yeah, I can kind of see that.
That would be a fun SDCC set.
What's different about Dark Awakening Rodimus?
No, I'm just saying it'd be like the first time we got a Rodimus in the Super 7 line.
Oh, okay.
And then they could do another version down the road as the single release. But I'm saying as far as that's a cool set idea.
Well, the other thing with that too, like if they wanted to do a variant for a 2-pack like that, do animation colors, Hot Rod, Rodimus instead of toy colors, because that's fairly distinctly different.
Yeah.
I could see toy colors being what they would go for the default release, and then do the animation accurate colors for an exclusive, such as what we're suggesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of exclusives, we're moving on, Don. Thank you. Speaking of exclusives, we had a leak, a theft leak, just today, actually, of the, I think, third or fourth thing we've seen from Walmart's Velocitron subline. But this is an interesting one. So Blur was on the list for this. Thank you. So Blur was on the list for this, and we didn't know, even the insiders didn't seem to agree on what exactly it was going to be. And it turns out it's IDW Blur.
I'm
retooled from
they're going to IDW.
Retooled from Studio Series 86.
It looks amazing.
It does look nice.
Yeah, the damning thing is, I kind of like it.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have a vehicle mode that?
Yes. Somewhere in here.
IDW vehicle mode. Yeah, there are pictures of it.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Okay, so here's the comparison of the regular Studio Series of Shattered Glass and the Walmart one, and this has the most accurate colors. I tried to correct because the video, these screenshots were taken from, I think the blue and the lighting just kind of really screwed with the white balance. It was very off. I had to try to fix it. This is
in there.
Definitely. This is a lot truer to. I know it's true the colors of the Studio Series 86 regular one, so this should be accurate for the Walmart one. The vehicle mode is an effort
IDW.
for sure.
I mean, that's pretty much.
Yeah.
IDW.
Wow,
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
that's more different than I would have given credit for.
Now, I mean,
I'm cool with it.
It's not a ton of new parts. For instance, the wheels and the front fenders are not actually wheels; they're solid molded with the fender pieces. They're simulations of wheels. They don't even touch the floor. So it is still like Studio Series 86 Blur in that it just like sits on a platform, look like it's hovering. It just also has wheels now that don't do anything. But like honestly, I don't dislike this. I'm kind of into it.
I kind of dig it.
This is one of the this is one of the things I think JT Prime was saying, like you know, we were not going to be happy when we saw this, but like he may have been working from outdated information because this is kind of cool, and I think the response to it's been fairly positive in general.
Yeah.
I can see how it can be a shock because just because we're going away from IDW, so to get something in a current product line that's IDW.
Yeah, that's super weird.
Yeah.
That's very weird.
So one of the early concepts apparently for this was that it was going to be Armada Blur done off of Studio Series 86, and I think that might be, you know, what was expected to be disappointing because, you know, that would have been not quite right.
Yeah, Armada Blur was a not great toy.
It would have given us a base for Point Blank, though.
Yeah, I think that was the expectation, but I guess that's probably not happening now.
Makes me sad that that's not going to happen now.
Unless it's just going to happen in a different form.
About the only thing it's not even this toy's fault. About the only thing a negative thing I can say about it is that I really like the old generation's IDW Blur. It is a lot less accurate to the comics, but that is just a really pretty toy with a bunch of really nice shades of blue and a nice sniper rifle gimmick. So that, definitely worth having both though, because they're going to be very different side by side a bit.
Now, is this Blur the same Blur that was in Spotlight Blur, or is this? I mean, just from my own personal, because I never read it. I did read the Spotlight Blur. Is this from later on, or?
This design would have been more from like the Robots in Disguise, more than ECI era.
Yeah,
it's similar. It's very similar,
but it would be the same character. That was the same IDW continuity.
Yeah.
No, I'm into this weirdly, even though I'm not like a huge fan of the Studio Series 86 Blur toy as compared to like the Titans Return one, but like this also the elements it adds are interesting and it just changes just enough where like I kind of dig it now and I sort of hate that I do. All right, let's see what else we have. Up next we have, okay, we can go through this pretty quick because there was only one thing in this that I really wanted to talk about. We got some new stock photos of Legacy Deluxe Wave 2. And the main thing with this, bring it up here. Oh, and Night Sword points out this is Blur's design specifically from the Windblade miniseries. So the main thing I wanted to talk about here is we have in these updated pictures of Wild Rider, and this shows an alternate backpack configuration where it's not all splayed out. So like the whole hood chunk is just one piece on the back. And I know that was one of the points of contention for people with the initial presentation of Wild Rider was the like hood cape thing. So like here's proof that you don't actually have to have it like that if you don't want to.
Which they had told us that you could do this.
Yeah, it's just our first time actually seeing
it, yeah. And
seeing what that execution of it actually looks like. But like overall, the wave is looking pretty good. About the only complaint I have in this, as I cycle through these kind of quick. Tarantulas looks brilliant still, by the way.
Yeah.
The only complaint I really have is I just wish Elita 1's guns were not clear plastic. Because like everybody else has opaque weapons, and these are like a cool looking design, and I just wish they were solid so you could actually see they were a cool looking design.
I wonder if Minerva will have them in a solid color if we're lucky.
So probably they're on the same sprue with the windshield. So if Minerva has a clear windshield, the guns will be clear.
Gotcha.
One could assume that in Wild Rider's case, the guns are just on a different sprue. Because they don't look like they're fully painted over. I think they just got the silver paint on them. But there's probably enough parts to go around or enough tooling spaces open to make opaque weapons work there. And of course, like on drag strip, there is no clear plastic in the first place, so that had opaque weapons. Like, I get the whole energon weapon gimmick thing. I just kind of wish, fewer of them were that.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
No, it's not just you.
And then these stock photos were shared by Lincoln Park Irony on TFW. I don't know where they got them from, but that's where we got them from. Okay, so this next one is interesting. This did not have a credited source for where it originally came from. Let me get this set up. There is no source credited for this, but we have pictures of an Optimus Primal face mask from the upcoming movie. And it transforms into a robot.
I love it. It's great.
Hey, that I did not know. I thought it was just like a regular party mask or something like that.
Nope.
Yeah, so it's got a very Optimus Primal looking robot mode. This is the back of it. So when it's in mask mode, this is where the stuff is arrayed. Now, you'll notice the feet are kind of there where you have to like bite down on them to wear the mask. I think that's probably incorrect.
Yeah.
You can kind of see there's flanges and tabs where those pieces should be able to fold down and lock in. So it probably, wouldn't be a mouth guard also.
And it looks like it folds down at the bottom, and then the feet can swivel to fit in those two little areas on the bottom left and right.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
So this is going to be super comfortable is what you're telling me.
I mean, it's not going to be the nicest thing to wear, but it's not going to be as bad as it looks in this photo.
It does have a nose guard. I will say that.
Yeah, there is a nose cushion. That's nice.
So is this Optimus Primal trying to make up for Optimus Prime, taking people's faces? He's just saying, here, you have mine.
Yeah.
I like it.
I can't take this guy anywhere. Here, have my face.
I really
but this is weird, and I kind of like it. Yeah.
It's unique. And that's that's my favorite thing when they do like really unique stuff.
The only sad part is I'm sure this is going to be sized for kids to wear and not adults, so it won't fit any of our gigantic freakish faces.
I don't know with the with it just being straps in the back. I think you have a better chance of fitting this.
Well, I mean, you can strap it onto your head, but it's not going to fit over your face correctly. Is kind of what I'm getting at. You can strap anything to your face, diecast.
That's true.
If you're brave enough.
Is that our episode title?
Helmet we were talking about. People were having a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'll have.
Yeah, you need a small hat size for that.
And the eye openings look huge on this. So I got to assume you're going to be able to see through it pretty well.
Yeah, there should be good visibility through that.
Yeah.
And then our last news item, which we'll also go through a little bit quick here. Evan Brooks put on his Instagram some pictures of Studio Series 86 Arcee, along with a little bit of What the Hell Man about it. So here it is with the Thrilling 30 Arcee. I'm sure you can tell which is which.
Oh yeah.
So basically, he thought that the Earthrise one was not 86 enough, and for the amount of new parts, it was gonna take too many new parts to change that to be what he thought it should be. So instead, he called up Takara and is just like, so what if we just got out the old Arcee and put some new parts on that instead? And somehow that was less work than doing it to the Earthrise one.
You know what? That was a better choice because that was a better toy than the Earthrise. So
yeah,
I'm excited about this now. These photos, especially how everything seems to tab in together underneath the car.
I like the added posability in the robot mode, like the picture I have up right now, where there is like basically a functional ab crunch on there, and you get a waist swivel. Like you can get some good poses out of this with the help of a flight stand, obviously, but like it poses nicely.
And it looks like it tabs in pretty good everywhere.
I would love for the sides of the waist segment to be painted gray too, but that's about the only complaint I have. It does look a good bit better than Earthrise Arcee for sure.
Yeah, we have a picture here of the undersides of the Earthrise mold and the Studio Series remold of the old one. I mean, if you're familiar with the Thrilling 31, you can see that, a fair bit has changed under the hood, so to speak. But like, it's definitely more integral with itself than the Earthrise mold, where you've got basically just the entirety of Arcee contorted up under there uncomfortably.
Mm.
And then there's, of course, my favorite photo. The walking car.
I'm really happy with what we're seeing so far with this.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's really weird that this is the way it is, and I hope Evan can come back and, go into some more detail on the what's and whys of this, but at least we have like a start of a sense of this choice being made, even though it still doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, so the last thing for the news, which is not really news anymore. So Hasbro Pulse had a sale they were advertising last week. And on last week's show, we were talking about how we didn't really expect very much out of it. Well, it turns out it was better than we thought it was going to be, depending how much you're interested in spending and how much stuff you didn't have already. So the sale ended up being 40% off any purchase of qualifying products over $75. And there were some interesting things that were included on there. So as we transition into what we got this week, which hopefully will go fast because we're well on course to running long, I thought we could, go over what we each got, if anything. So what I ended up ordering in full from this, I got a Masterpiece Reboost, which ended up being a little over $50 with the sale price. I threw a Core Class Skywarp in there because why the hell not? I was over the threshold anyway, and I'd been meaning to get one, and for about $7, that's good to me. And then the next day I came back to it, and it hadn't sold out yet, and I ordered the Jurassic Park crossover.
Oh, nice.
All of my stuff did eventually ship as of like Tuesday morning. The last thing shipped. I have not received any of them yet. But we've heard from several people in our Discord that some of their orders made during the sale just have not even shipped at all yet. So one could easily presume there was a lot of order volume come in during that, and they're just having to work through it as quick as they can.
Yep.
But yeah, that was my modest haul from the sale. Diecast, did you partake?
4 times.
Oh.
Yeah. The first order was the premium finish Siege Optimus Prime.
Okay.
Because I love the green chest on that with the lines through it and everything. I got this T-shirt.
Right, because you're in Pennsylvania, you're near one of their fulfillment centers, so of course you would have had your order delivered already.
Yeah, and I had, I was pretty early on the order.
Oh yeah.
When the sale started, and then I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I went back the second time, and I got MP-54 and MP-53 because I was like, that's such a good price for those. I was like,
yeah,
I have them already, but I was like, I'll pick up another set.
Because you're diecast.
Yeah, because. And then some of the stuff might not have gotten here yet, because they got here, that got here. I know I ordered a G.I. Joe, the Timber and Snake Eyes. That hasn't even shipped yet. And that was on like my first order, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got talking with Brian, and I was like, how about that sale? Did you pick anything up? And he sent me what he purchased, and which I won't say. I'll let him say.
Yeah, that'll be fun next week.
But one of the things on the list that he purchased, I was like, oh, I should have picked that up. So I went back and got it, and that's the premium finish SS01, which is the Bumblebee that transforms into
right,
the actual
Volkswagen. The movie Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, I get it, because we don't get many Volkswagen Bumblebees. So
right.
I picked up that. Then I picked up a bunch of Marvel Legends stuff, and I
Mhm.
feel like I'm forgetting something. But yeah, I hit that sale 4 times. And Monday they had a slight restock on some stuff.
Yeah, stuff payments probably failed on.
Maybe, yeah. Or something to that effect. So they did restock some of the stuff, and I avoided clicking the button again because I was really
What were you thinking of?
that Deluxe Optimus Prime, the figure, but it wasn't transformable. It was, they just had
The 3-0?
yeah, I think it was 3-0. They had Optimus and Megatron, but Megatron was still out of stock. They only had Optimus in stock on Monday, and I was like, I kind of want him as a set. So I ended up avoiding that. But yeah, I placed 4 orders.
So, because we haven't had enough Star Trek content in the show this week for various reasons, I just want to highlight this comment by MRP73 in the Discord, tfradio.net/Discord. So he says his order should arrive Tuesday, like the Enterprise B's torpedoes. Don, did you have any luck on the sale?
Yeah, I've got there a little late because I was at work that day and I had to wait till my lunch break because the work kind of frowned on you, getting out your phone and doing purchases while you're in the middle of your job. I was hoping,
I'll go into that later.
Yeah, I was hoping to snag a another Shatterglass Skyfire if they happened to had any, one to open, one to keep in the box. They were already gone by the time I got there. Wasn't a lot left. I was thinking about getting Masterpiece Skids, but I've got Reboost and I've got X-Transbox Savant, so I've already got a good representation of Skids, and I got the Reboost for that mold family.
So what did you actually get?
I picked up the DK2 Guard. It's mostly stuff that I've been on the fence on, but for that price, I really couldn't. The DK2.
I understand Diecast is in the market for a pistol for one of those. Maybe you could.
Yeah. The DK2 Guard, the Shatterglass Goldbug. It's not really right, but for that price, we're getting Goldbug in Goldbug in G1 colors in the Target 4-pack later this year, right? Yeah. But I needed something to put me quite over that threshold, and nothing else they had that I wanted was in stock. So there was that, and I got Shatterglass Blur because I hadn't picked him up before.
All right.
So like I said, everything else, there was nothing Power Rangers I wanted. There was nothing in stock on Marvel Legends, so that's really.
I thought about Pudgy Pig, but at the same time, I didn't want to drop a ton of money I don't technically have right now on sale stuff that I probably wouldn't otherwise get. Reboost is something that I'd had on my mind since it was announced, basically, and this was the right price. Same with the Jurassic Park set, and there was a lot of stuff that's just boy, I could just go on stuff that looks kind of interesting, but I wouldn't otherwise buy. But I had a conversation with Captain Rufus, basically the same effect. Don't buy stuff just because it's on sale, and so I kind of just kept to minimalism. So Matt, how did your sale experience go?
So I bought nothing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pretty much anything Transformers related, and most of the Marvel Legends stuff that was on there, I already had that I wanted. The thing that got me, Don said, we work in industries where we can't exactly just stop what we're doing and pull out our cell phone and browse.
Right.
So I've been looking for months. I've been checking for restocks of the Marvel Legends Troop Builder Scroll packs.
Oh no.
And I've been checking literally months, and no restocks. So they restock them in a sale and allow you to buy 5 at a time.
Okay, here's the thing. Are you sure they were ever actually in stock for the sale? Because they had the Selects Abominus set up in the Transformers stuff. It was never actually in stock for the sale. They put stuff on the sale database or whatever that they didn't actually have any of.
I don't know. All I know is it was in the sale list. It said you
Yeah.
could buy up to 5.
They probably never had any,
And
so
it
you
was-
didn't actually
and it
miss
was
out on
sold out.
anything.
Well, that would make me feel a little bit better, but
Yeah, I'm not just saying that
I
to make
was-
you feel better. Like, there's a very good chance that is actually the case, because if they did that for a few things in the Transformers stuff, it probably happened in the other categories too. They probably had, I don't know how they had classified in their database, but just, it meets some qualification, and when they hit a button for sale items, it just takes it whether it's in stock or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I-
I didn't even need 5. I just
Yeah.
3 would have done it. Wouldn't even have been enough. It wouldn't have even been enough to qualify for the 40% off. I just would have liked to have the
Had
chance to
them,
get
yeah.
them. Yeah. But no. So I bought nothing from the sale because it just made me really mad. But I did pay off my car this week. So
Ooh,
Awesome.
congratulations. It was the same pretty blue car that
Yeah.
you rode me around in. Oh,
Yeah.
that was such a nice car.
yep.
It-
4 years.
no,
Paid it off
no.
in 4 years.
No
Very
running
nice.
with the deer or anything since?
Nope.
Oh, that's good. That car is too pretty to have any deer marks on it. Rob, did you get anything from the sale?
I did not, because what day was the sale again?
Started on
It
was
was
it
like
Thursday?
all week. Yeah. It was
Like
it was
all
like a
weekend.
4-day sale. Yeah.
Okay, because I want to say that the sale like started the day I got the muscle relaxers from my doctor, and I was actually able to sleep in.
Oh,
So
You got something better than toys. You got sleep.
yes, and I desperately needed it. And the CT scan is tomorrow. Boy, I hope they can figure out what the hell this is, because it's been like a month and I'm really sick of it. But no,
Well,
I did
either way, you win what we got this week because you got a good night's sleep.
Yeah, but in terms of the non-sale things I got this week, because
Yeah, we'll jump into
I
that.
was
That's
having
fine.
the same situation. Yeah, I was having the same situation you guys were talking about, where it's like I saw like 1 or 2 things I wanted, and I'd have to figure out other things to get up to the discount amount. It's like, nah.
Yeah.
But no, as a early birthday gift from Diecast off of my wish list at tfradio.net/playlist, I got Ultra Q on Blu-ray, which is the
Ooh, neat.
sci-fi series that preceded the original Ultraman in the 60s. So that should be fun, and I really appreciate it, Diecast. Thank you.
Oh, no
I
problem.
hope
Happy
Mill
birthday.
Creek has the good subs on that.
We'll find out. But also, speaking of Diecast, I got another package on Sunday I wasn't expecting. Turns out I had pre-ordered The Men Who Created Gundam from Walmart a year ago and forgotten about it entirely.
Oh,
So I have a second copy of that. Would you like it?
yes, I would.
All right, it's yours.
Happy your birthday to me.
And that is
Show
and that is
title.
Thank you, Rob.
Yes, that is everything I've gotten this week.
Yeah, I'll put that in the notes. Okay, let's cycle back to the top, I guess. Well, I guess that'd be me. The only thing I got, this will be real quick. I finally have Legacy Drag Strip. Kilby sent me the Hasbro comp one he had. So I finally handled this. It's nice. Robot mode's a little bit basic, as you would kind of expect for something that has to be also an arm in addition to being a vehicle. But like, it's a solid kind of basic. There's
I
not
really
like
like it. Yeah.
big gaps or anything. Everything just kind of works the way it's supposed to. The transformation's interesting. The vehicle mode's really nice. It's like one of the most contiguously solid vehicle modes I've seen in a long time. And I do like that they use the hollow space in the head, one of the only like glaring hollow spaces, to be the driver's seat in the car. Like that is just such a
Nice.
clever double use of unnecessary empty spot. Like, yeah, it's nothing super amazing, but like it's good and I like it. And I'm pretty happy with that outcome with this. So that's me. Back to Diecast.
2 more things I forgot on the sale. I got that haven't gotten here yet. I got the movie Bumblebee premium finish Optimus Prime, and I got a turtler to maybe finally get customized as that Unicron
Yay.
because I'm gonna
You can never have enough Seacons.
yeah I'm gonna make
That's
that
true.
happen, even if I have to do it myself. And then we kind of talked about
yes.
this last week, but I built my Lego Prime, and I actually, of course, the faceplate fell off. But I actually kind of modified it. And modified it, I mean, I moved it up and put some tape on it. You could probably use gum or... Whoop, there goes
This is on your Twitter also, right?
Yeah, it's on my Twitter.
At Diecast2.
Yeah, at Diecast2 if you want to see the photos. But you probably use some, like, silly tack or something. But you just move the faceplate up just a little bit. It looks...
It helps a lot.
Yeah.
Because remember when we talked about this, how it looked like he had this little, like a little crane face right here.
Yeah.
Top.
He was Optimus Prime.
Yeah, no, moving the faceplate up just a little bit works really well. Diecast was showing me this in pre-show, and like it makes all the difference. It's amazing just how that little like half a centimeter move just really fixes that up. So how was the build process on that for you?
The build was really good. I really like it. It's so solid. I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. Only taking off for the face, and when you transform it, it's all included. So like you don't need to remove anything. But you know how Transformers, when we complain when things don't tab in, nothing really tabs in. It just kind of sits in place.
Okay, yeah.
So it's not like a satisfying, it's locked together. But other than that, I mean, it's really perfect.
Yeah.
I hope they sell enough that they want to do another one. And I really think they would go for Soundwave next.
That was my thinking too. If they do another one, Soundwave seems like the most plausible second one. Just
I was thinking Starscream, but
yeah. But
I think we're on the Soundwave track with this, just because it's like similarly boxy and the same kind of simple transformation process. Yeah. It would just lend itself to Lego pretty easily.
Yeah.
Starscream would be interesting just to see them accomplish, though.
Yeah. I'm so hopeful to get another one, because this one was so nice, so fun to build. It's like I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I have. It's really nice. I really hope everyone who wants one is able to get one.
I did see online too where somebody just used the instructions and Legos they currently already had and made a Nemesis Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a white version as well.
Yeah.
And I saw where someone made a Optimus Prime crocodile out of
the same parts. Yeah.
Nice.
Parts.
Oh, that's amazing.
Lego, man, like there's nothing you can't do except make circles.
Yeah. And then I also got the Legends, what's that? Spike, the exosuit Spike.
Oh yeah, the core class.
Yeah, the core class. If you check my Twitter at Diecast2, I've been winning the QC war. I got one with 2 right upper thighs, so it couldn't transform. And Amazon was sold out of them, so all I could do is return it for store credit, and that was one that I only paid like $8.49 for. It was on sale, so it's just I haven't had good luck. And then my DK2 guard came missing the gun. Like they didn't even, you know how they flip the cardboard in and they kind of slide it in the cardboard.
Yeah.
Well, that little flap of cardboard wasn't even flipped in, so it's not even like the gun fell out. They just forgot.
They just never put it in. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I found out that yesterday after the sale. I could have went on a Hasbro sale and, you know, one of my 4 orders added a DK2 guard. And of course, you know, apparently I ordered it from Big Bad Toy Store, so they're just issuing me a credit.
Because they don't have stock to replace it with.
Yeah, I guess they don't have stock, and Hasbro never has stock, so if you call them, that's not
right.
help. Yeah, but
buying selects can be kind of a gamble.
Yeah, you know, it took me like 2 or 3 weeks to actually open up the box.
Oh yeah.
I just did it because it's been upstairs and I'm trying to clean up all the stuff that's up there that shouldn't be.
Yeah, I'm sure your wife will appreciate that.
Yeah, well, she's getting on me to get it cleaned up. So,
well, I was trying to dance around that truth, but okay. So is that it for you?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Don?
Not a damn thing.
Good. Matt?
Nope.
Oh, nice. The show's over. So if you would like to, look for your own core class Spike or plasma TV, they don't even make plasma TVs anymore. An OLED TV, something nice like that. You can use our Amazon affiliate link, tfradio.net/Amazon. Any purchase you make once you visit that link, for the next 24 hours or so, we'll send some revenue back to us to keep the show going as we do. And of course, the show is made possible entirely by the support from our viewers, just like you, whether you use the Amazon link, if you buy t-shirts from our t-shirts and other merchandise store at tfradio.net/shirt, which I assume still works. Or if you become a patron, all of that goes back into making the show happen. And of course, at this time, we always like to thank our patrons at the Touch tier. And of course, we are so grateful for all of our patrons, but it is a special perk for the Touch level to get a shout out on the show every week. So this week, our Touch patrons are Kevin Dorsey, Ryan Bona, Emmett Sresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Ness, Joey Russell, Jay Rye, Sean Hamilton, Jacob Owen Lutia, Sean Bratton, Spider Bob, Tyrell Gwynn, Rick Mahurin, Blake Reynolds, Vegemite Mike, Jason Tate, Eric Griffin, Cybertron Toys, and Sean I. Williamson. Thank you all so much for being our Touch patrons. Now, shout out on the show isn't the only perk that's available to you as a Touch patron. You also have the chance to be on the History on the Fives podcast, which Rob records every week or two. Is it every week?
Ideally every week, but real life happens.
Yeah, and it doesn't get posted weekly always either because life happens. And we do our best, but life happens. That's basically the best way to put it. But yeah, if you're interested in being on one of our shows, that is a perk exclusively available to our Touch patrons. So if you want to sign up and then get on the show, you can get in touch with Kilby over that through contact@tfradio.net, or you can reach out to him on Twitter at tfradio or at bkilby. And he'll just run through some technical checks with you to make sure that everything's going to work right, and then you can go and talk about the history on the Fives. And we got quite a cast of characters on that show with Rob every week or two or so.
Character is a good word for him.
Yes they are characters on the internet. They have one job, which is to talk about history on the Fives.
Yes.
Of course, you can find all the shows that we do basically everywhere that podcasts are syndicated. The stuff we do that's patron exclusive is on the Patreon, of course, for whatever period of time that we keep the exclusivity, and then that will also go out on our regular podcast feeds after so much time has passed. Of course, every week you can join us for the live show and chat with us on our Discord at tfradio.net/Discord. I highly recommend that. We've got a fun time in there most days of the week. We got a nice crowd of regulars in there. I like hanging out and talking with a lot of them. And these days, that's the main place you can find me to interact, because I've kind of slacked off on Twitter a lot, which I think is actually better for me. But yeah, I think we could all use a little bit less Twitter in our lives, to be honest.
Yeah.
To view the show notes for this episode, you can go to tfradio.net/782. That's a handy little trick. Just go to tfradio.net/the episode number, and you can see the show notes, including the links to the things we talk about. In case you're one of the many more people who listens to the audio version of the show rather than watching our live video stream on YouTube. It's kind of useful to actually see the things we're talking about. We run them as best we can over the video, but that doesn't really help for a podcast now, does it? So of course Brian was not here this week. You can find him at bkilby or at briankilby.com for his assorted Christmas albums.
Or in Jungle Gyms.
I mean, yeah, once every year or three, getting the exotic sodas.
Mm-hmm.
That's at least one of the things he's doing while he's not here this week. I don't know the full itinerary, but he definitely mentioned that last week.
He apparently found alcoholic Mountain Dew looking at his Twitter.
I mean, that's just a thing right now.
I didn't
That's
even
weird.
know that was a thing.
It's relatively recent, but like you can go to like most grocery stores that sell alcoholic things, and that's just kind of there. It's as alcoholic beverages are. It's not cheap, but sodas aren't that cheap anymore either. Depressing. But what's not depressing is Rob Springer's zonebase.org and his Transform Squadron podcast. Now, I don't think he has a new episode this week, but he's had one recently, so you should definitely go and check that out. You can also follow him on Twitter at RoboRobSpringer. Rob hasn't been with us on the show regularly in a very long time, but like the thing about Rob Springer is that once you know him and have been around him, he's never not part of your consciousness anymore. Like he just lingers there in your mind. He's just a force of presence like that, and like you're enriched for the act of having met him. Also not with us regularly anymore because life happens, kids and dachshunds and job requirements and things. John DeLuna, but you can find him everywhere at that John D. Again, you can find me mainly on our Discord at tfradio.net/Discord. For my toy photography stuff, you can go to playwithphotography.com where I have galleries and articles. If you want to throw some support my way for the things I do, I'm on Patreon at patreon.com/playwithphotos. And I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/ChrisList if you want to just like do some random kindness at me. But, I think it'd be a better idea this week to have Rob focus on his Amazon wish list because a very special day is coming up.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks from now is my birthday. tfradio.net/playlist if you want to send me something. And a surprising number of people have, over the years, and I really do appreciate it. If you want to talk to me, there's Twitter.
At Rob Flails?
Yes, at Rob Flails. And my brain is totally gone now, so thank you.
So Rob Flails is the Twitter account for Flail Throughs, his Gundam gaming channel on YouTube.
Yes, mostly Gundam Battle Operation 2 at the moment, because I can my friends from that game have thrown videos at me to help keep things going while my arm recuperates. This week's mobile suit, which I posted a guest video for today, is the Kshatriya from Gundam Unicorn, and it is large and large and very capable, which a lot of supports are not. So it's definitely worth looking at. And boy, I wish I could get one, but that step up is kind of expensive, so I'm going to let that go.
That was a good unit in SDG generation Genesis, also, as I recall.
I think I did get one, didn't I?
Probably. I mean, I know I got one and I used it a lot, so.
Yeah, I need to get back to Genesis, but again, a lot depends on my finding the spare time and my having two working hands. So we'll see where that's going. But if you like what I'm doing over at Flail Throughs, youtube.com/flailthroughs, patreon.com/flailthroughs, you can throw me a couple of bucks and I will fulfill requests for specific rounds in Gundam Battle Operation 2, specific color schemes, weapon combinations, what have you. And yeah, I opened with the wish list, so I think that's everything.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Don.
I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. Also, for those of you that might not be aware, I am getting married in October.
Congratulations.
To a wonderful lady. And we are going on a Carnival cruise for our honeymoon. And at tfradio.net/honeymoon, We have put up a few extra things if you were so inclined and can help out. Just to, a few of the things we normally couldn't try on our own on the honeymoon.
Like getting that extra scoop of shrimp at dinner.
That and there's like a hot rock lather shave something that sounds
Spa treatment.
Yeah, spa treatment. It sounds really interesting.
Don, I can throw hot rocks at you if you want.
I just envision the exchange of rocks between you and Don as going in the other direction. But sure.
But yeah, so if you have the ability to help out and would like to help, us get a few extra things on the cruise, tfradio.net/honeymoon. And again, as always, every week, I like to thank everyone who's helped out. It's really going to help a lot. So thank you very much.
And then Matt abstained. So diecast.
You can follow me on Twitter at diecast2. You can see all of my QC fails as of lately. You can also like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast. You can see my reviews on youtube.com/RFC Reviews or tfradio.net/reviews.
All right. I think that'll do it for us. So, everybody, thanks for being here. Thanks for bearing with us through our, customary technical difficulties when Brian's not around. Hopefully he'll be back home next week and we can just forget this whole unfortunate thing ever happened. See you next time.
Take care, everybody.
See you, everybody.
Bye.
Recording stopped.
Good.
I guess I have to end the stream.